As a student who is currently studying to become a full-time secondary teacher, I'm completely unaware of where I may end up taking out my line of work. Perhaps out of Queensland or even overseas, the type of environment where I'll be teaching is undefinable. As this statement is a true factor for all of us aspiring teachers, we must first create our own educational philosophy, in which will keep us from drifting away from our own aspirations and beliefs. I've looked back on my own memories of school whilst also tapping into my Christian faith, and I have finally determined my philosophy.
As a teacher, I will not only adjust to the continuous alterations of a growing education, but to teach respect to my students as well. Charlotte M. Mason stated that self-education is the only possible education. The rest is mere veneer laid on the surface of a child's nature.
Mason believed that the effort that one student would bring to a classroom truly relates to how well they would achieve. She also somewhat states that teachers but only polish their students' educational journeys. Now, while I relate to several of her philosophies, this statement I believe can prove wrong. I will strive to not just veneer over my students, but to apply pedagogical strategies to improve their knowledge in all areas of education.
Now, not only do I want to make a positive difference in my future classrooms, but I also want to teach my students respect. I believe if a student can successfully show respect to their educators, their grasps of knowledge will open up, and respect will prove to be an asset to their learning. This is something that I have always believed, and I have shaped the way I have carried myself because of my previous teachers, in which I showed the utmost respect to.
Another aspect in which I will continuously strive to follow is social justice in my classroom.
In Proverbs 9 verse 9, it states, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning."
This directly relates to the differences in all classrooms, including racial upbringings, ethnicities, and also family attitudes. As a teacher that will be teaching diverse students, I must be aware that no student will follow stereotypes. Now, I am aware that stereotypes are not all completely false. As a student teacher, I have been taught that I must be able to ascertain between what stereotypes are false and which can be helpful in connecting to a student. In a lot of ways, this is true. However, this will not be a part of my philosophy. In fact, stereotypes in my philosophy are out the window. In an effort to make my kids feel welcome and respected, I must ascertain how each student relates to my teachings and allow my students to teach me the way in supporting their educational journeys. Each student is different and special in their own way. Just as Dr. Seuss said, now, when I speak of teaching respect to my students, I do not mean this.
Take a good look at it. Because once you get on that bus, you ain't got no mama no more. You got your brothers on the team, and you got your daddy. Now, you know who your daddy is, don't you? Gary, if you want to play on this football team, you answer me when I ask you, who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Gary?
I hope I mean this.
As of now, you are sir. So are the rest of you. Sir is a term of respect, and you will have my respect until you abuse it. Mr. Lyle, how many games did you guys win last season?
Like 4 wins, 22 losses.
Sir.
Sir.
As a person who has a lot of passion for sport and physical activity, I wish to teach physical education, and this is why I tend to refer to cheesy sporting metaphors, whilst also referring to sport coaches.
John Holt said that, "It's not that I feel that school is a good idea gone wrong, but a wrong idea from the word go. It's a nutty notion that we can have a place where nothing but learning happens, cut off from the rest of life."
I do not wish to just throw aspects of learning different topics each day towards my students. However, I wish to teach all means of respect to my students. just as well as I believe a sporting coach will do. In a lot of ways, teachers and sporting coaches go hand in hand. We're all in here to influence the future politicians, sports stars, and entertainers of our world. We're all in this together as educators. Furthermore, I am fully aware that my primary source of content that I must teach my students hails from the Australian curriculum. However, in a lot of ways, the hidden curriculum will reign supreme in my classroom. The hidden curriculum refers to the ways in which teachers challenge mythical norms and stereotypes and leads the way in teaching heterogeneous students. I'm not stating that our education has plenty of flaws. I think it is fair to say that every teacher will not be perfect. However, as a teacher, I will challenge myself to challenge all stereotypes, primarily on how the media tends to refer to teachers. We are called glorified babysitters, but I think of us as farmers. Let me explain.
Aristotle once said that the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. As teachers, we may be seen as negative in certain cases. However, I believe if teachers follow their philosophies and begin to realize that their students are different and equally important, their learning will soon become this generation's main priority.
My philosophy is, as a teacher, I will not only adjust to the continuous alterations of a growing education, but to teach respect to my students as well. I believe respect is something that is lacking in today's classroom, and I will continuously challenge myself to change this factor, not only to affect my students, but even the teachers around me. Thank you.